Hello, welcome to Life on Pig Row, and today you can hear in the background it's raining really heavily, so we're back in the glass house to sow some rhubarb. Growing rhubarb from seed is a really easy process. It just takes a little time. Obviously it takes 2 years for the crowns to come to fruition, but it's worth it because you get seed and you get varieties that you normally wouldn't get in many of the kind of tea and wee garden centres. Or even some of the bigger brand garden centres. So if you like Timperley Early, that's great, but we're looking at different varieties today, and those varieties come from Chiltern seeds. But there's a few things we have to do first before we even begin sowing them. So we're sowing 3 types of rhubarb. We're sowing Rhubarb Victoria, which we've sown before and done so very successfully. Out of 12 seeds we sowed last year, we ended up with 12 crowns. We're also sowing Rhubarb's Glaskins Perpetual. This is a bit of a wonder rhubarb supposedly. If we sow it this year, we should be cropping from it next summer. I think that's really a code word for a fug of a rhubarb. I'll be interested to see how big that grows. And finally we have Rhubarb Champagne. All of these from Chiltern Seeds are heritage varieties. It's something we've got into for our wartime garden. So a bit of a nifty tip, we've got to soak all our rhubarb seeds up to an hour before we start to sow them. So what we've done is we've got a tray with water in. Obviously the tray has no holes in it, and then we've just popped in a module. That way we can put each of the different seeds into different compartments, and then when we want to take them out at the end, all we need to do is lift it up and it soaks away. The great thing about Chiltern actually is that you get quite a lot of seed for your money, which is always a worry when you do get rhubarb seed. Some seed companies will give you about maybe 6 or 12 seeds, and I can recommend this company because there must be at least, if you're looking here, I would say between 20 and 30 seeds. So anyway, let's crack on and put the seeds in each module. Okay. I don't know if you can see at home, that's what rhubarb seed looks like. It's quite a tough little beast. You put it in the water for an hour, it gets soaked, the casing splits open once it goes into the soil, and hopefully in a few months' time we'll have young rhubarb plants. So it's 60 minutes later and we've drained all the seed off now, and it's ready for sowing. So we've got a module tray here ready. We're using a module tray purely because it's easier. It's 1 seed per module. You can plant it into a normal tray, but then you have to keep pricking it out, and rhubarb when it's young doesn't particularly like getting constantly pricked out. So we found modules have been a lot more easier for us. We start them in these small modules and then we make them into bigger pots as we go along, and we can select the strongest of the crowns and discard the ones that aren't that strong. So what we do before we start sowing, we always water. So here's our module tray and our dibber. And all we need to do is take one of the seeds, dib a hole, knock it in. So from 3 packs of seed that cost us less than £8, we've got a potential of 143 rhubarb crowns. Now for anyone who goes to the garden centre, you know rhubarb crowns retail for between £5 and £8. So you can do the maths yourself, and all for a few hours work. Not bad going. So that's it. That's how to sow rhubarb. In a couple of months' time, we'll show you how we've potted them on and where the final place will be. The great thing about rhubarb as well is any plants that we've got left over we can sell on. So we're always making a bit more money to put back into the garden. So until next time, goodbye from Life and Pig Row, and we'll see you again. Bye bye.